that tried to take my life. Put a gun into my face, I remember still. I'm looking back up on the day I tasted cold blue steel. And I knew that I was too far from my home. And I did not want to bleed out all alone. Hey, I was alone. I got caught in a fire, to whom it may concern. I got caught in a fire, and the afterburns. Prison was your family, it's where you made your home. And we were like your chain gang left to break away the stone. So put a gun into my face, I remember well. Looking back up on the day I tasted cold blue steel. But I knew that I was too far from my home. And I did not want to bleed out all alone. Hey, I was alone. I got caught in a fire, to whom it may concern. I was caught in a fire, and the afterburns. Yeah, yeah. Now I stand beside your rock, so smooth and so cold. A picture of a lonely life that walked a weary road. Put a gun into my face, I remember still. I'm looking back up on the day I tasted cold blue steel. But I knew that I was too far from my home. And I did not want to bleed out all alone. Hey, I was alone. I got caught in a fire, to whom it may concern. I was caught in a fire, and now the afterburns. Yeah, yeah. Don't leave me to bleed here. I don't wanna be alone. Don't leave me to bleed here. I don't wanna be alone. Don't leave me to bleed here. I don't wanna be alone.
Boom. Episode 110, Stl Roar, mycitymymusic.com. Soldier by Blood. God, my voice is shot. Too much screaming this weekend. I have Mr. Scott Bushman in the house from Turn that one off? Okay. Do I have to do it again now? Okay. All right, awesome. Okay, sorry. I sit in front of this board for over a year. Still can't get it right. Thank God Tweezy's here. But we have to give it up for Tweezy. He's the boss, he's the man. He's the star. He puts up with a lot of shit. especially from us. So we had this killer show this weekend. We had our first annual Metal Fest right outside the doors here on the other side. We had 6 bands. We had a bouncy house that had a slide on it, and we had hip hop. We had poets. We had all kinds of artists. We had vendors. We had turkey legs. We had fruit cakes.
Nice.
Oh my
First
God!
annual?
First annual.
Nice.
Lots of safety meetings here because it was pretty chronic, right? This guy, you should see him out there, man. He was tearing it up. It was awesome.
Nice.
It was awesome. Anyway, so, with that being said, what did you play this weekend? What do you guys
played
do?
Chicago the week before last. I beg your pardon. Atlanta, Georgia, 37 Main in Atlanta.
Really?
The suburb of Atlanta. It was an awesome show. Venue had small nationals coming in. They had King's X come in a couple weeks before that.
Awesome.
Doug Pennant on that show, on that stage. It's kind of cool, you know?
Yeah.
And then you show up.
Right.
You know?
I know, it's like, sacred
Right?
ground.
I know, right? And then Shinedown did an acoustic show a couple weeks ago. It was cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So Madman's Diary's been around for a minute. How long have you
12
guys?
years. We
12
celebrated
years.
12.
When
Yeah,
did you start?
crazy.
When did you start touring nationally, or you just throw it in there every
Well,
other year or whatever?
It's funny because our first show 12 years ago was at House of Rock.
Of course it was.
Of course it was. Like
Everybody played House of Rock.
Our second show was the Cricket Wireless in Kansas City in front of 18,000 people.
How cool was that?
So, yeah, it was kind of a shock.
And you all stood there peeing your pants, not peeing your pants.
When we walked out, we peed our pants.
Well, of course.
You know.
And then everybody peed their pants.
Right. And we haven't looked back since. We've been traveling ever since.
Oh, okay.
About 2 weeks out of our first show. You know. So
Is it-
Canada, Alaska, down the Gulf Shores. You know.
Did you play the gig in Alaska that Jeremiah Johnson did?
Was that the Chilkoot Charlies?
Yes.
Yes.
How cool was it?
Fantastic.
He said it was the
Listen.
most coolest trip he's ever done.
That venue was amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. Some of the faces, you know, that has been in that stage. You know.
They're screaming for us to come over there.
I know, right?
I don't know why they don't pursue that more aggressively. I mean, they pursued Jeremiah Johnson.
Oh, did they?
Yes, and this was a few years ago. Probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and it was like, what? You're going where? I mean, yeah, it's pretty.
I think we're going in 23. Kevin, I talked to Kevin, the promoter from Hooked On Entertainment, and we're going to go out there in 23.
That's awesome.
I tell you what, you almost pay to go out there. We didn't, but it's that awesome.
Yeah, it's on my bucket list. I'm going to go to Alaska one way or another. You know.
Yeah.
Did you go during the time when it was all dark, or did you go during regular?
It was in October, and it would get right around 10 o'clock.
Really? What'd you think about it, with the culture and everything?
I loved it. The promoter took us on a drive around Anchorage, and I know why people live out there. It's absolutely amazing. The mountains, just everything.
Did you see the mooses, the mises?
I did. We did. We drove around all over in Anchorage. We were supposed to do Friday in Fairbanks, a place called Chilkoot Charlies. Did Jeremiah do that? You know?
I believe he did. Yes.
The place unfortunately burnt down, so they're rebuilding it. I think we're gonna go there. We did 2 shows in the Chilkoots. It was just awesome.
That's great.
To see that wall of greats. Wow.
And you signed everything, right?
Indeed. Yeah, that's
awesome.
right.
That's very cool. So tell us about who's in your band and how long they've been, and who does what. What do you do besides just grow a beard?
I know. I was at a show the other night, and I talked to people. I was sitting there having a conversation. They had no idea who I was.
What?
It was like, yeah. Anyway, we got Mike Sedgefield on bass. He's the Thunder from Down Under.
He
you
is
know?
badass.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Mark,
a super cool sweet guy.
dude, he is my partner. No doubt about it.
He,
You know?
I mean, he's just.
He is our sense of reason.
Yes.
When I go ballistic, he's in there going, okay, this is what we got to do.
I don't think I've ever seen him yell. All of his
No.
expressions are on his face. You could tell he's about to, but he won't.
Right.
He just like, don't make me yell.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But he's so calm. He is so.
He is definitely the voice of my reason. So,
That's awesome.
Tim Hartman singing, awesome guy, you know. Been with us 4 years.
He's got such party hair.
Yeah.
I love Tim's hair. It's so
And,
gorgeous.
So on the drum kit, we got Paul Miles.
Very
He's
cool.
formerly, you know, a death metal guy with
Right,
feet,
right.
you know, got feet from hell. You know, the guy's just.
He's
you don't even have
amazing.
to look back there when you're playing. You know it's going to be right. You know it's going to be on. You know.
Has it been you four this whole
It
time?
has not. And obviously, we started a long time ago. When I first started this, it's been maybe 5 or 6 different
Right.
things. I joined a band with Dave Eagle a long time ago,
Right.
and decided to quit that band. And I said, hey, I want to do this Aussie thing. We did this kind of coincidingly. So Dave and I started this with Mike. We wrangled Paul Miles. We started the Aussie project.
Right.
You know, Dave, he's off riding his motorcycle.
Right.
So we know that. You know.
Right. And I love. You can't blame him for that. You
Indeed.
cannot fault him
No,
for
man.
that. For,
You know,
that
he's-
wind therapy is
he's
always
all-
good.
He's all over the country, you know. And we got. So Paul was trying to get his son through high school, and he left for about a year. We got Bobby Taylor for a while, and then he went on. And,
Of course.
You know, indeed, right?
Gotta wear my Bobby
gotta wear
shirt.
Bobby. Right. And so really the core members have been Mike, myself, and Paul. So, and then we got Tim. So about 4 years ago. So it's as strong as ever, and we're moving on. You know.
But all you guys are very well seasoned musicians. You've
Yeah.
been around the whole
Yeah.
everything forever, and you're lucky that you all play well together. You work well together.
Don't argue.
It
Never
all
argue, you know.
it works.
Yeah, it does.
You know,
we all
so-
come into a venue. We all have. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. Other than our own instruments, but we have big production. You know, if you ever seen us before, we have this and that video and fire and all that stuff. So we all come in. They know what to do, and it's done. You know, it's awesome.
As long as you don't do the dead animal thing. Don't
We do not do the dead.
Don't
animal
do the
thing.
dead animal
No,
thing.
I like animals
did-
too much.
I
Yeah.
still can't even get my head around that whole thing. Even though I just stood there in my mouth, I'm going, did he just do that? Did he just do that?
Yeah.
Did he just do that? What the heck? No, it's all
Right,
good.
yeah. No, we all like animals too much.
Have you met him?
I did not. I have not. Once again, I guess you don't meet your idols. You know.
No.
I did meet. I had a nice conversation with Dolores Rhodes and Kelly Rhodes before she passed away. We were there in North Hollywood for hours, and they took us in. My wife and I. Hi, Juliet.
Shout out to Miss Juliet. Sorry about the beard, but it's really kind My guy has a beard. It's freaking awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know how long I'm gonna go. I'm right down here. Anyway.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's taken me a year to get this long.
She's gonna let you go that long. No.
She says she likes it. So no, we had a great 3-4 hour at Musonia music. It was a thrill of my life. You know.
That's cool. That's
I
awesome.
met Kelly Rhodes and Dolores. They brought out a bunch of cases from the old Quiet Riot. They're Quiet Riot drums. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? And they're just regular people.
They
And
just
you
wanna-
run into
they
him
just
all the
wanna
time.
Keep his name alive. Because you know, the farther we get away, the farther you forget how wonderful. I don't, but you know, the farther you know about the guy,
Yeah.
the farther the young kids get detached.
The
you know.
legacies. But there are a few that,
There are yeah, Randy will never die.
I mean, it's
We know
just
that.
one of those, and that's what I love to hear when they say, yo, this guy, and I love that guy,
Oh.
and this girl, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what did you just say? Are you
Yeah.
even old enough to know who they are?
Indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who inspires you?
So,
Plant,
exactly.
Rhodes, you know, it's like,
Definitely.
That's good kid. Keep it up.
Definitely, yeah. We always want that. We want to, the legacies of, they've just got to keep it going.
Indeed.
And I love, have you seen Aislinn? The 12-year-old?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
My little,
Yeah,
I love that little
I
girl.
love her.
She's a sweet kid,
Yes.
and she's had 2 great teachers so far: John Eschenbrunner,
Yeah.
Mark Crow,
Yeah.
and she's going to start School of Rock.
Nice.
So you can't go wrong if you're under Frankie's wing. I mean, come on.
I know, right?
That guy can put on a show.
He's an entertainer.
He is
for sure.
yes,
You
always, and he's a really nice guy
know.
too.
Anybody Frank does a show with, he schools them.
He does.
You know, I don't
And he's
care
right.
if he's supporting.
And
I
he's-
don't care if he's headlining. This is how it's done, gentlemen. I'm about ready to show you.
And he's
You know?
right.
Yeah.
He's not a jerk about it. He's right.
No, I've known Frank since we were 10 years old. You know.
And he does great production. I mean, he helps. He produces a lot of music.
Yeah.
He's working with Dirty King. He works with a lot of
right on.
bands.
I knew
Yeah,
that.
and he's actually on one of their songs, and he's just great. I mean, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's just awesome.
And that's what we gotta do at a certain age is help the other guys come up. You know.
Right.
He was there, man. And that dude knows some shit.
I know. I just wish I think he should have went further than he did.
It was a time.
And I know the story. You know the story, and it was
of
back.
course,
And but I mean,
you know.
I just think of how hard they worked, how hard all that hard work and all that blood, sweat, and tears, and all their bands that they
Right.
did together.
Right.
I just feel like they should have got a break. Then there's a lot of underrated bands out there that didn't get the break they should have gotten also, or the airplay.
The three things you worry about, you think about is talent, where you live, and luck. And if you have two of those, you're in good shape. Unfortunately, the luck of the timing was not good timing. You
Right.
know. Unfortunately, grunge came in, and I'm not a big fan of grunge, but whatever. You know.
I can skate around the edges of it.
Indeed.
I can't get in it and live in it.
I can't either.
I'm a classic rock all the way.
Absolutely.
It's just the way it is. That's
Yeah.
what I grew up on, and,
Yeah.
and that's where I live. So,
Then again, we all know that grunge killed the 80s metal. You know,
well, that's kind of like
it's debatable, but did the 80s metal get exhausted by bringing in these bands that they were just looking, okay, I'm going to sign you, I'm going to sign you, I'm going to sign you, we just exhausted the talent? Maybe, I don't know.
I think they got too many cookie cutters. I think they had
That's exactly what I'm talking about,
too
right.
many hair bands that look the same,
Indeed.
and it's like you're singing the same song and you're doing the same stuff.
Indeed.
Wasn't that girl in 14 other videos? I mean, come on. And I get it because then it was a free for all.
It was.
You know, back in the day, back when we were little kids, and they were sliding $100 bills inside of sleeves of 45s and taking it to the radio station. Hey,
Yeah.
can you play my song? Can you play my song?
Absolutely.
And then it got into everybody became a producer, and everybody's putting videos out there. And MTV, MTV's been on the air for 40 some odd years.
I know.
Thank God they played that whole 12 for us.
I know,
because
right?
the rest of it is
We
junk.
grew up in a great time.
Yes,
You got to admit.
yes, we do. We
Right
do.
now, my son is a saxophone player and he plays around town. And I always tell him, I said, who do you look up to? Who's your bands? Even when he was a drummer before.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to look up to like Green Day or Blink-182 and stuff like that? Who are your idols?
Right.
And I don't know if he knows. I don't know if there are any.
But well, what did you play for him when he was growing up? What did he listen to? Everything?
Everything. I grew up playing classical music, so I love classical music. He listened to that. He listened to, of course, Ozzy, all the hair stuff.
Right.
You
Mhm.
know. So, and then for whatever reason, he gravitated to jazz, and Miles Davis is his
That's
guy.
cool, totally
right,
cool,
right.
totally
he
cool.
plays at the Broadway Oyster Bar every Saturday morning. It's like he's on his way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
No, I'll tell you that he still knows Led Zeppelin and all that stuff, but he gravitated somewhere else.
Well, that's his groove. That's his
Indeed.
groove. As long as he's playing, you know,
That's
he
right.
didn't just throw it out the window and say, "I don't want to do it." Yeah, my son. I think I said this last week or week before. My son, he's 30. God, kids are so old. He's 36.
How can that happen?
They're not supposed to get this any taller than this, you know. When you can take him on the ride to Six Flags, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came over from school one day and he said, "Mama, I'm the only one who knows who Ted Nugent is." He was 12.
Right, indeed.
Okay,
Right.
listen to me, son.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah.
Nobody at my school knows any of these people. I
Yeah.
said, you know what? And they're going to miss out.
Right,
So,
right.
but then he is a musician. He plays by ear. He can play anything. But his music is more, I don't know. It's kind of a crossover between, he likes rap, he likes electric, he likes a little bit of punk. It's kind of a mishmash of a whole bunch of different things, but it's his sound, and it's
That's exactly right.
And that's
you
cool.
Mush that together, and you do some original stuff, and this is
That's
we
what he-
got.
yeah,
This is what we
that's-
got.
yep.
This is where Blink-180. I mean, this is where Linkin Park comes into
Mm-hmm.
play, and all these newer, style. I say newer. They've been around quite some time now, but this is what happens with rap. Rage.
Mm-hmm.
That's a rap and rock. We
Right.
know that.
And he's in some of that too, and I'm like, well, whatever you want to do is fine. And he's written poetry, so I'm like, put it all together and make something.
Yeah.
Do whatever, but oh, I'm not in a hurry, Mom. Whatever makes you happy. Whatever makes you
I was
happy.
into screamo for a while, and I love heavy stuff. You got to sing on pitch, and then for whatever, he's into completely. He's a Webster grad, theory 15 and all that stuff, and that's what he loves to do. So, go do it.
Do you know the band Crystal Lady? You know who Joe Mancuso is,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
It's Joe's daughter,
Okay.
Kayla.
Yeah.
Kayla started that band, and she graduated from Webster, and the original people in her band were all from Webster. And she started this band, and Joe is her manager. He's the manager. He's Mr. Jazz. He's Mr.
Yeah.
Cool, Mr.
Okay.
Slick.
It's a good jazz.
He's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great crooner.
Yeah.
And but Kayla, I remember her when she was a little kid running around his shows. He's like, there goes my daughter. And then now she's all grown up.
Right.
She's been on my show.
Right.
She's done shows. I mean, her music is amazing. It's not screaming, but it's
Nice.
it's good.
Yeah.
Not super heavy, on the heavy side, but not super heavy.
Right.
So, and she's got great words. I mean, she's freaking awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe it. I was like,
And she understands music, or is she ear trained?
yes.
You're
No,
trained.
both.
Okay, that's good.
Both.
Yeah.
She can do.
Yeah.
She can do all of it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Joe will sometimes jump up there and he'll do some of her music. I'm like, does it bring your dad to gig night or what? Because then he gets up and he's totally not the jazz guy. He's up there
Right.
doing rock and roll.
That's great.
And he does it really well too.
Yeah.
Were you at Delmar Hall when Charles Glenn got up there and did Led Zeppelin?
I was not.
Holy shit! He got up there. I mean, I was like, we all just went. The whole room just went silent. He just wailed out Led Zeppelin like nobody's business. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Yeah.
it was amazing.
That's
I've got it
awesome.
on my Facebook page somewhere, but this was a few
Yeah.
years ago. He just got up. He just smiled like he was just a super nice guy,
Nice. Humble as can be, right?
Oh, a big teddy bear. Big teddy bear.
I know. We love those guys like that.
Yes.
Go and kill it, and humble as can be.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. They come and sit down next to you. They don't stand above you.
Indeed.
And they look you in the eye. They talk to you. They're not
Indeed.
that
Yeah.
kind of shit.
Yeah, we do a meet and greet after our shows, and it's like we're not like we're just a tribute band. Let's face it.
Right.
But people do want to talk to us and stuff, and
They
find out
like it.
what we play, what our amplifiers are, and whatnot, So it's kind of kind of cool,
Well, I mean, you probably can still get the same high when you're out there playing and they're all singing the songs back to you.
Indeed.
And they're dancing and they're jumping around and they're just all about
War
Ozzy.
Pigs is a fine example.
Oh, yeah.
Always singing War Pigs. The crowd is going.
That's a
crazy.
badass song.
I know,
It
right?
is one of my. I never get tired of that one.
I know,
There's a
right.
few that I can not listen to again, but I really always like War Pigs.
Right.
It's one of
Yeah,
my
me
faves.
too.
Which one is your favorite? What do you like to play?
I'm a production guy. I like big production, so I think Diary of a Madman or Revelation Mother Earth are my two favorites. 'Cause they're big.
Right.
There's classical stuff in there. There's all kinds of I love the big production.
It's a big mixture of stuff.
That excites me.
So what got you started in music? What was your inspiration? Are you a legacy? Are your parents musicians?
Well, my cousins all played. The only thing I can say is when I would probably walk into the house, my dad would be playing Frank Sinatra and all that kind of
Right,
stuff.
right,
So
right.
I think that got me into music. My first album I ever bought was Masters of Reality, ironically.
Really? How cool.
With my own money,
Of course. Did it mean more when you
We
spent
went-
your own
We
money?
went to the Woolworth and I'm dating myself terribly, but it is what
I was
what
right
it
there.
is. And then I went to Flow Valley after high school. I took lessons from Nash Musicland, who's a jazz guy.
I remember that.
right?
Yes.
And then Flow Valley from there, and then SIU class for classical guitar after that. And I studied under numerous teachers here in town that are just monsters. Larry Smith's one of them.
He is, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really, really good.
He's a
He makes
monster.
it look easy too.
And
Mark Crowell, same way.
that's right.
That goofy guy can just make faces and still play his ass off.
Right,
Just he's amazing.
So
He's-
I gravitated to classical music because that's really what I wanted to be. But Randy Rhoads came into my life, so that's what was
It's all over with but the crying then.
Right.
I mean, he is amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't touch him for it.
We never heard what he could have done. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
There's a third album that we'll never hear, according to Kelly Rhodes.
Really?
Mhm.
Why not?
Because
Is it a copyright
Bob
thing?
Daisley has it, and they'll never let it go.
Personal?
I probably, because of contractual and all that, you know, all the bad blood. But I was told by Kelly Rhodes there's a third album. It's not completed, but the guitar parts are on there, the vocals are on there, everything's on there, you know.
So it didn't get finished at the
It didn't
time?
get mastered and mixed down, and you know, but stuff's there.
Man, wouldn't you love that?
God.
Just a taste of that.
You know that,
just,
right?
Just this much.
I know, right?
Just that, because that's like a whole song.
Yeah.
On a record, that's a whole song.
Indeed.
Albums, those plastic discs that are not, yeah.
Spin. They
Yes,
spin.
and if you play them
Feel.
backwards, you can
Sometimes
hear.
they get hot and do this.
That's what the penny's for.
True.
The
The
penny.
tape and the penny, right?
Yes, put the penny on
Yeah.
there. And the satanic
Can you put
messages.
a penny on an iPad?
Try it.
Okay.
See if it
what
goes
happens.
anywhere. It'll scratch it probably.
Right.
Mm. The sound is not as good as an album.
Mm.
There's no
indeed.
medium out there. I don't care what it is. You can listen to it all day long. The album is.
Yeah. A lot of friends of mine are audiophiles.
Mhm.
I can't afford to be one because I have too much shit
Right.
in my trailer, but you can tell.
Mhm.
Digital music's blips that you literally can't hear, but an album is continuous. The fidelity is incredible. You know?
Well, I mean, like back in the day, it was the whole band was in the studio. They're cutting the record now.
Right.
If they fucked up, they started over.
Right.
I mean, every instrument is played as is
Yeah.
in the studio.
Yeah.
There's the guy mixing, but
Yeah.
no tracks,
Yeah.
no pre-recorded anything, that kind. I think sometimes they may have, like there's Steve Schindler. You know who Steve Schindler is, don't you?
Yeah.
Like when he records in his studio, he'll record separate, the instruments
Yeah.
separate, and then
Yeah.
put it together,
Sure.
and that works.
It does.
And
indeed.
sometimes they did that. They started doing that later on, but at the beginning, when everybody was cutting records like crazy.
Well, there was I read an article, Winger, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even play They didn't play together till their first gig. They would fly down, do their parts in Florida, and they never played together actually as a band till their first gig.
Well, no wonder they
Yeah.
didn't stay together. Jesus. I mean, that chemistry's gotta. It's gotta work right then and there. You can't just.
Yeah.
That's like phoning it in.
To a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
I mean, Divine Sorrow. Brian does not sing during practice. He only sings at the show.
I got you.
And
Really? So they
yeah.
know that music without the vocals. Man, that's awesome.
But I mean, they're just very cohesive,
That's
as
what
you
I'm
know.
saying.
I mean, those four guys
Indeed.
are something
Yes.
else. And when they do, but he's at practice. I mean, he's there. So I mean, and they're always putting their songs together and redoing or whatever. But he doesn't sing in practice. He only sings at the show.
Wow.
I know.
And I love that stuff they do too.
Mhm.
They-
I know.
they
They're amazing.
Love that music. They got,
Mhm.
I want to get them up at Rockfest. They would be a great band to play that venue up there, that big festival.
Definitely. Yeah, you'll have to because there's a whole bunch of other bands that want to go too. Have you done Rocklahoma?
I have not. That's more of an original. I don't know if they have even a tribute stage. Like in Cadott, Wisconsin, there's actually a tribute stage.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I did not think
Yeah,
about that.
like Tribute Island. It's funny. The tribute world is it's a big world, and they have their own little festivals.
Really? Well, I noticed Diamond brings in other tribute bands that are
Yeah.
not here, and and I don't understand that when the same ones are here.
Well,
But,
and I saw the
it's
Wiley
business.
doing that too as well, because they brought the Van Halen. They were actually bringing a Sabbath in, which I don't understand. But anyway, Van Halen one I saw.
But then a lot of that also is the fact that, and being on the booking side of it, I get contact. Hey, my band's going to be coming through town.
It's a routing
Can I
gig,
get
yeah.
I get a gig?
And we get shot down all the time. Hey, there's already an Ozzy in this town. They might not be as good as you guys, but they're already in this town, so we got to use them.
Right.
I said, hey, I get it.
Right.
We'll drive around you. You
Right.
know? I get that all the time. you
Right.
know.
That does happen. So,
course
so
it does.
that might be
Yeah.
it too. I didn't think
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
side of it because it's a business.
It is a business.
And what if they wanted that band and that one that we have here
Yeah.
couldn't play?
A lot of variables. You know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So was this your this was the tribute you wanted to do? No question, or were there
No
other
question.
ones that you
No, when I gravitated to Ozzy, and for a while I was asked to play in a Motley Crue of Poison. I'm not a guy out of Kansas City, and I did it just pass the time. But it got to be a burden a little bit, you know. My mind was, you can't. To me, you cannot be in 17 different bands. You just can't. I'm sorry. But,
No, well,
you know.
especially were they mainly in Kansas City though?
No, we traveled too.
Oh, did
We
you?
went to Wisconsin. We went
Oh.
all over the place. Virginia, all over the place. So it was just too much, you know. But Ozzy has always been my thing. People that know me go, it's obvious, you know.
Right, definitely for sure.
I mean, back in the day, and like I had a Randy Rhoads when I was 21. I had a Randy Rhoads guitar with light Marshalls, obviously, you know.
Where you still have it?
I sold that guitar.
What is wrong with you?
Because it was like 00,
You know he's
200, you know, it's like
You know
serial
he's-
number low, you know.
He is rolling over in his grave,
I know, right?
sticking his butt in the air, saying, "Kiss it."
I bought a new
How
one.
dare
I
you?
bought a new one. I know. When I went to LA in the 80s, I had to liquidate. And unfortunately, that was one of the ones that had to go. you know.
Wow. Oh yeah, it is.
We
You could
all-
always try
we
to
all-
find it again.
We all went there. I have.
You found it?
No, I have tried to find it. I tried to find a polka dotted guitar that I built, of course, you know, and I'm still searching for these guitars. You know. Someday it'll be like Frampton when he finds his black Les Paul after 20 years. you know.
Right. Exactly. For
You know,
sure.
Zach Wild got his number one stolen out of the back of the bus, and he found it years later in a pawn shop in Chicago.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
I hope to find mine.
yeah.
I lost a guitar and a bass.
Did you now?
Kicks. Oh my god. Oh yes.
Stolen or
it's my-
sold?
Huh?
Stolen. That
Strat.
sucks.
Yes. It was my
Recently-
it was my baby Strat a couple months ago.
I got my van stolen. Yeah.
What? The whole van?
The whole van, and inside, we'd just gotten back from Alaska, and I was being lazy, and lost 2 guitars, lost all my clothes, I got a brand new guitar case. I was just getting rid of it. Oh, it was horrible.
Where was
You
the
know?
van? In front of your house?
No, it was over on McCree and Kings Highway. You know, 20 minutes I was in the building. Like, it's a surreal moment. It's like you walk out. I know I parked there. Maybe I parked around the building. You know, you go, fuck.
And the police are going.
Oh no, they right now. You know, they didn't even show up. They should have made a report. You know.
They probably went and met the guys and took the guitars. You know.
Don't know. I looked for all, you know, the pawn shops. You know.
Oh my god.
Every now and again, I think about it. Nah, they're gone now. You know.
That just
It is what
sucks.
it was. You know.
Well, you know, I always say that, you know, you can always, if people are going to steal something, if they want it, they're going to get it. But it's like, you know, you needed it that bad.
How bad is your life if you need my guitar that bad?
Well, apparently they needed some clothes to wear too.
Indeed, right?
And I'm sure every
No,
shirt
but
has
the funny
Madman's
is,
diary on it, right? It's
it
like
was
they're not
all
going to know.
It was all my clothes from Alaska. So it was my Zach Wild, my vest, my horns, my boots. It's like, you shitting me, right?
Now, who's going to wear that you're not going to
That's
see
what
it?
I'm saying.
You freaking morons. Really? Is this one of those dumb, this is going to be
I
a
know, right?
dumbest criminals thing.
I know, right? It's
Oh.
like, really? You know, did you have to steal that thing on this day? You know? Yeah, whatever.
That just sucks.
Yeah.
That just
Yeah.
sucks out loud. So, so I was going to ask you, your original music, how old is it?
Well,
And what was-
that was only we did some Saturn Cat stuff. We did some London Calling stuff when I was with Farrell. You know, we recorded out of Herman. You know, it's on the internet, stuff like that. You know?
Oh, it's on YouTube?
Yeah.
Well, I can pull up some of the songs if you're
Yeah.
still out there.
And Farrell's amazing.
He is.
Probably one of the best singers we've ever had. You know.
He is. And he's done so many things and he's so talented.
Yeah.
I think he's on a hiatus or
Yeah.
something's going on with him, but that's not for us to talk about.
Indeed. That's another day.
That's all his business.
Indeed, right. Yeah, indeed.
So what would you say to the kids nowadays? I mean, you've been in this city, you've
Yeah.
been all over. What would you tell kids that are saying, "Oh, I want to do an Ozzy tribute"? Would you hand over your guitar and say, "Here,
I would say,
play"?
hell
Or
yeah.
what would you tell kids as far as what's the hardest thing you've had to deal with being in a tribute band besides the fact it's a tribute band?
Well, yeah. People don't think. I think tribute bands. People think it's kind of a farce and sometimes a joke. It's not. You know, you want to get in. If you love something that much, if you love an artist that much, and that's what you solely want to work on, and that's it. That's what I do. I have no desire, and any of our guys have desire. Because what we do when we play a venue, and that there's thousands of people, it's that gratifying. You know, we're a little older now. I mean, I'm 57 years old. I doubt if I'm going to get signed anytime soon.
You never know.
You know,
You never know. Hold your mouth right.
yeah. So our band, it's so gratifying where we play and what we do and how many people we play for. There's guys don't want to be in other bands. And they're really, they've told me, this is all I want to do. This is, I'm yours. You know, I said,
Right.
that's awesome. You know?
So do you all have regular day jobs or
Yeah.
day gigs, and this
Yeah.
is like your awesome hobby that you love to do?
Yeah,
Or
we drive out. Mike's a printer. Paul works for a gasket company.
Right.
Tim works in the food service
Right.
manager. And I build buildings around St. Louis.
Right.
You know, and we head out. Most of us take every other weekend. We take Friday off. We're leaving on Thursday night. We have some kind of anchor date and a routing date. We come home once, and then Sunday's a drive day.
which makes it easier as far as you don't have the stress of, oh my God, I got to get to this gig and I don't have gas money and
No.
we got all that bullshit. That stress is not there because y'all are on the same page, and it's like this is what we love to do. There's a few bands like that,
Yeah. We have our bus. If fuel wasn't $5 a gallon.
Right.
Just
Right.
sucks. We have a 20-foot.
But you have a cool bus. It's a badass, but it's a big party bus, that's for sure. We all know you're going.
There's only one like it.
Yeah.
We have a 20-foot backline trailer. Everything goes in it. We all
Right.
climb in and we roll out. I mean, there's national acts that don't travel as good as we do.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
There was another band that was a tribute band. Do you remember Capone?
Sure, I do remember those.
Tim
guys.
Jackson?
I reached out to one when they were in full motion to do a show with them.
Yeah, they were. Well, they have a bus too. They have
Oh.
a killer, huge bus. Tim Jackson was the main guy. I booked them, and they were the only tribute band. Actually, they weren't really a tribute band. They were
a
more
tribute
like
to the '80s.
a hair
I
band.
remember that.
And RFT voted them the best '80s hair band. Something I can't remember. 3 times they got voted for that.
Nice.
They did a red carpet thing. Remember Plush? That venue
Yes,
Plush. It was a
yes.
fun place.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the 3 levels and all
Yeah.
the different stuff you can do. Yeah, they had a big red carpet event. Dr. Chevegas played. I mean, they had the big billboard or the big, backdrop
Yeah.
and taking pictures like
Right,
Hollywood and all
right,
this kind of
right.
thing. It was so much fun. But yeah, they had a big tour bus. They played a lot southeast, like Hub's Pub.
Yeah, I remember Hub's.
Oh.
Hub's Pub is still around.
It's still around
And I
Poplar
reached out
Bluff
to that guy. Hey, call me, would you?
and Poplar Bluff. Well,
What's wrong with you?
they're in the
Yeah.
fields. They're having too many safety meetings.
Oh, yeah. I reached out to you a couple times. Call me.
But they were one of the easiest bands to book because everybody liked them.
Yeah.
But they don't drink. Not any of them drink.
Yeah.
They just like to eat. So I had to make sure they had pizza at all their gigs. Like House of Rock, the last year they were open, they played a couple of gigs there, and I said, Paul, they got to eat. That's all they need.
Oh.
They just want food. He said, what do you mean? I said, pizza. That's all they want, and soda,
Yeah.
and tea. They don't drink. He said, what do you mean? I said, so we don't need a bar tab in our rider.
We don't either.
It's just one of those
We
things.
kind of have a rule. We play in an hour and a half. Mike has a beer every now and again, but he doesn't do it till 3/4 of the way through.
Right.
Tim doesn't drink. We don't drink. Because if you're a mess on stage, it's just ugly.
Right. Right.
It's just brutally ugly.
I know.
I don't drink anyway.
We've all seen that.
Indeed. And I'm not telling you, I haven't been there a couple times.
Well,
You
and
know.
it's just so you don't remember, or people are telling you what an idiot you were,
It's like,
or
man, I played like Yngwie Malmsteen. He said, you should have been on this side.
yeah,
You know?
you should have been on the inside looking out.
You should have been over here listening to you.
You know what that is, don't you, Tweet? Look at him smiling. You okay? Doing all right? So yeah, it's just I get that, and there's a lot more people our age. It seems like in the '80s, people are doing stupid shit all the time, but a lot more people grew out of it, or it's in moderation now.
Indeed.
It's
Yes,
not the
yes,
focus.
Yes.
It's a
yes.
side thing.
Well, not only that, every day you see one of our friends, he just passed away. Well, what did he pass away from? Cirrhosis of the liver or something.
Right.
You know, that cancer stuff.
Mhm.
That's the scary thing too. You know, Jimmy Earls
Mhm.
passed away.
I know.
Rest in peace. You know, it's like every day.
I know. It's sad.
Yeah.
But, and then, it's like it goes in threes too.
I hope
You
not.
know.
You know.
Oh, I can't stand it. Well, Bobby Taylor is, our latest as far
Hey,
as latest and greatest, and
He's gonna kick ass. He's gonna kick this thing. You
he
know that.
is. He's too hard-headed.
Indeed.
I mean,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna play drums like him,
No.
and nobody's gonna tell him what to do. And if he's not playing his drums, it doesn't matter if he's dead or alive. He's gonna play those damn drums, and you're gonna hear him.
Yeah.
Shirt on or
That's a
shirt off.
fact. That's a fact.
Because he's
That's a
just that
fact.
guy. And if
Yeah.
not, Jamie's going to be right there telling you. You
Yeah.
know, she's awesome.
It's been a good, Jamie's great for him,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't know
yes,
where
yes.
he'd be without her in this time he's at right now.
I mean, it's still, I get chills when I think about it. We were at the Boyers, their son, when he got married. We were at their wedding reception, and Bobby and Jamie were there. And Bobby grabbed me and he's like, I need to talk to you. And I said, if it's about a gig, we're not talking about gigs. I've been drinking. I don't talk business.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about gigs right now. And he's like, no. He says, I'm going to ask Jamie to marry me. I said, I know you don't drink and I know you don't get high. Are you okay? He's like, I want to do this. I want to do it the right way. And I was like floored. I said, don't change your mind.
Yeah.
You can't change your mind now because you told me.
It's got to happen now. Sorry, you can't go
Oh
back.
my God! Oh, it was. I was just so excited.
When he was with us, Mike had a conversation. You know, that girl loves you so much. Why don't you just go for it? You know, you ain't gonna find another girl that loves you like that. you know?
No, and they had to have a. She had to have a couple. She had to put him in a timeout a couple times, and that
really?
loud pop was when his head came out of his ass because he
Indeed, right.
realized that
Well,
she was the one.
That's how guys.
That's how guys can be, right?
You know,
I know.
had that moment many times.
Shout out to your wife.
Shout out to Juliet. Right? Thank you, Juliet. She knows me better than anybody. She handles me better than anybody else.
You guys been married how many years?
We got married in 08.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you've been together how long?
05.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I asked her to marry me 30 days after. It was about 60 days after I met her.
Well, I can see that. I want to marry
Indeed,
after I
right?
met her.
I
She's
know,
so
right?
awesome.
Yeah,
She's so awesome.
yeah.
And you
Great
guys, how many
personality.
kids?
She got 2 girls. I got 2 boys, like a Brady Bunch.
That's
You know,
awesome.
but
And everybody gets along all happy.
Yeah.
Are you a grandpa?
I am a grandpa too.
Really?
Yes. Layla and Cameron. Yeah.
Those fingers and toes are the most delicious, aren't they?
And I've got little Layla's. I just bought her a guitar, 2 guitars, acoustic guitar and electric guitar. So hopefully Joan Jett will lead forward here.
Well, she's got the great name. I mean,
Indeed, right?
what name is that associated
I
with?
know, right?
I mean,
That's
come
right.
on.
I know, right?
I mean, that's already a star,
I
right there.
I know. So hopefully we'll see what happens. But I tell to get back to musicians and young kids. I always tell the kids, you can have great ear training.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trained with by my ear, but by books as well.
Right.
I think you understand if you understand what you're playing, it's a whole lot better than just playing it.
Right.
Because there's guys, it's a really a double-edged sword. Like Eddie Van Halen didn't know music, but he sure could fucking play. Yngwie Malmsteen, guys, Steve Vai, they know music and they can play.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the path I went to,
Mhm.
being a classical guitarist, going SIUE and all that. And I would tell anybody, learn what you're playing, understand what you're playing.
Right.
You know, that's my thing. You know,
The heart.
Larry will tell you that too.
But it's-
My teachers, Peter Clemens, John Weiss, they were both studied under Segovia. They knew what they were playing.
Right. But it all goes down to your heart. I mean,
Indeed.
it's
That's a fact.
that's where it all comes from.
That's fact.
And I have seen and heard singers that can't sing, but it comes from the heart. You don't realize they're not even singing on key sometimes because they're so it's
We'll
so
leave those
right out there.
nameless. You know,
It's so out there.
I know, right? Yeah.
And you know, it's just one of those things. It's
Yeah.
just like, wow, you're not even, you don't even pick up on it that much. It's just that you can just see it and feel it when they're singing to
Yeah.
you. They're singing
It
to
comes
you.
out to you. Hit
Yes,
you
it
like
does.
a hammer. In the
It
head,
does.
You know.
It does for sure. So, where are you guys going next? What's your
Family Arena Friday. St.
And
Charles Family Arena.
who's opening for you?
with,
Anybody?
Night Train International out of Tampa, Florida.
Mhm.
Heading up here Thursday night, and it's going to be a fantastic show.
Do you know them? Have you played with them before?
We toured with them quite a bit around the United States. Yeah, they're good guys.
Cool.
They all get along. They have a bus too. You know, so it's like the buses go. It's like a freaking national tour. You know, we roll in. We played in Wisconsin. You know, the two buses pull in.
Mhm.
Like, who's that? You know. And with the bus way, if our bus is the way it is, they want to know who the hell is in there anyway. Even if we stop at a gas station.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's so ominous. I mean, come on. It's like, who's that?
I mean, I'll get honked when I'm driving out of St. Louis, going like to cool over the JB Bridge. You
Right.
know, they know who it is in St. Louis. You know, and that was the purpose. You know, and we were fortunate to have that. You know.
So it's broke down. Is that what you were telling me?
No,
What was broke down?
my trailer.
Oh, your
So
trailer's
coming home
broke
from
down.
Atlanta, we lost an axle,
Ah,
and we come out. We're about 200 miles out of St. Louis, and we get out of the vehicle. It's like something was weird about the fender. I thought, man, I think we got a flat tire. I looked at it, no, we don't have a tire.
oh
It's
shit.
just flown off.
Oh my
I
god.
had no idea. I didn't. There was no patrol. You know, you've seen the YouTube videos where the tire comes through the guy's
Right,
tire.
right.
Nothing like that. I said, God, that was a motorcycle. He's dead.
Holy
You know,
shit.
somewhere in between Atlanta and maybe Paducah, we lost a tire.
Oh my
So-
god.
And the axle was all bent up, so it's in the shop. That's what was broke down. Yeah, it sucks.
Oh my god. But that's all. It was just nothing else. Stuff inside wasn't
No,
damaged.
everything was fine inside. We
Holy
drove
shit.
home. We were like little grandmas driving home like 45, 50 all the way home for 200 miles. You know, it's at the shop. You know?
Oh my God! I was working for a company out of Texas. My boss was in Texas, and I was here as a branch manager. Anyway, I had to go to Texas. I had to go to Texas and pick up 4 new employees. And he says, and on your way, I need you to stop by and pick up my daughter's new car. It was a Nissan something, some little white car he bought her. I said, what? He said, yeah, go get a tow dolly and hook it up to your truck and drive to Dallas. I'm 2 miles from the stupid, where I'm supposed to be. And Texas, as you know, the speed limit is 70.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever changed. It's always 70 or 90 or whatever you want
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
so friggin' big. Anyway, the last stop I had, I stopped, I checked the trailer, make sure that everything was cool and everything was hooked. I don't know what happened. Next thing I know, my kids are in the back seat and they're like, Mom, the car is right here.
Oh God.
The hitch broke and it came flying up and it's on this side, I'm on this side, and the trailer's right here with the boss's daughter's car on it. Whoom, it went down into a ditch. It flipped and I went, I'm fired.
I'm
I'm
dead.
dead.
Right.
I'm so buried. My kids are going, Mom, that was cool. I was like, no, it's not.
What happened?
The hitch broke. I don't know what it was, but it was totally secure when I checked it, like 20 minutes before I left. But
don't know.
I don't know what happened. I have no idea. And
Those
but the
bumps in the
trailer
road.
hitch, where the welding was, on one side of it, apparently it was
Failed.
weak. And I called my boss and I said, how fired am I going to be if the car has a scratch on it? He said, what happened? I said, there's a lot of scratches on it.
Obviously, you didn't get fired. You know?
I didn't get fired. I had to bring my guys back. My boss was like, oh, God.
Oh, and it's not your fault.
No, it was covered by insurance and stuff, but still, it scared the shit out of me. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, to see the
Trailers.
car, it was like something out of a movie or a cartoon.
Yeah, right.
Here comes the car in front of you. Oh, shit.
And that's what I would hope we'd see with mine. We never saw a tire. I never even heard anything. I never heard a clunk. I
Wow.
never heard nothing. It's funny. Trailers on the road, you know, you see it all the time. You see tour buses getting trashed. Saliva had their tour bus getting trashed. It happens.
It does
We try
happen.
not to, but it happens.
So where do you go after Family Arena this weekend?
September 17th, we're in Chicago at the Rock House, which is another great venue. It's a 100-year-old venue. Actually, the Three Stooges played that venue.
The Rock House?
The Rock House in West Dundee. Yeah.
Which, there's two venues. Last time I was in Chicago, no, not last time I was in Chicago. Last time I was in Chicago was when I went with the brothers when they used to play the Allman Brothers tribute band
Oh yeah.
with Steve Picaro and all them, yeah. And they played the House of Blues.
I got
What
you.
a badass venue.
Yeah.
I have a guitar from that place
Yeah.
and all kinds of little picks and
Yeah.
memorabilia and stuff.
Yeah.
And have you ever been to that venue?
I have not.
When you go, just tour it. They'll let you walk in and just look at it.
Is that right?
You walk in there and you can hear all the past musicians and you can hear all the ambiance. You can hear it all in there. It's like, oh my God. It's like going to the Fox Theater.
I know, right?
The Fox Theater's like that too. And I've working for Local 6, I've done that venue so many times and I love that venue. It's not huge, but
Yeah.
the spirit in that venue
Yeah.
is so phenomenal.
I renovated, being a commercial construction, but I renovated the Peabody Opera House.
Did you
I was
really?
the first person to crack that open in 18 years.
Son of a bitch.
Amazing.
How cool.
There was in the dressing room, the wall of greats. You know, it's like the Rat Pack.
Yes.
Actually, one of the laborers cut out the Jimi Hendrix autograph on the wall. Took it home. There's Angel was up there, Genesis was up there, the Rat Pack was
So
up
what
there.
happened to the wall?
They unfortunately took it down, but he did get that. It was a crying shame.
But what about the rest of them?
They went bye-bye. I know, right? Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
but it was a great venue. Same thing.
Mhm.
You could hear these walls. You could hear the tower going on by Angel playing in this place.
I
Yeah, we
know.
know what it looks like now. You know,
Right.
it's amazing.
Right, definitely. But yeah, those old venues are just awesome. But there
that's
was.
what the Rock House reminds me of.
Mhm.
It's theater seating. You know, like I said, the Three Stooges. It was old vaudeville theater.
That's awesome.
You know, when he tells you got pictures of the Three Stooges, like I gotta see this.
And
Yeah.
It was-
amazing.
really
Yeah, amazing.
the
Yeah.
first three, or which was it? Which?
Yeah, it was the original ones.
Okay.
Of course, yeah. And then
Awesome.
we played there about 6 months ago, so it's a redate, and we're looking forward to it so much.
Oh my
Then we go
gosh.
to we play a festival in Mountain Home, Arkansas. That's our anchor date, and then in Halloween, and we come up to the Riff in Springfield, which we played there before too. You know, that's an amazing venue too.
Mountain Home is fun.
Yeah.
Been to the bathhouses in Mountain Home?
I have not.
Oh my, no, it's not Mountain Home. My bad. It's that would be. What's close to that? No, that I'm thinking of Oaklawn. Never mind.
I got
But
you.
no, Mountain Home is really cool. They got a
Yeah.
lot of bed and breakfast there.
Or
and
do they?
used to float it, but I don't think they even float anymore.
I think Larry Smith and his buddy, don't it? Tom. He plays with somebody from Ocean. Remember the old Ocean band?
Yeah.
The singer from the Ocean. They do a lot of Mountain Home, Arkansas shows. He lived in Arkansas, so we're looking forward to that. You know, we're trying to get to the it's the southeast next year. Hit Florida. You know, trying to infiltrate that.
Definitely. Well, you know Bobby Schneck.
I know, right? Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, I know,
move
right?
over.
I know.
The beach is big enough for all of us.
Right, exactly. Yeah. There's an Aussie band there, and they're still not as good as ours, but they're there. So you got to kind of infiltrate that.
Right.
You know, you got to, hey, I got an Aussie band here too. I said, check our videos out. And we do get a little pushback.
There's a lot of places. Well, George goes to Florida a couple times a year.
Yeah, so do my
And he
wife
goes down
I.
there to play. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we go to Sarasota, and my wife and I are kind of looking for a place to live our twilight years down there.
Right.
You know, right?
Yes.
We're very close to that right now. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
to you,
we're
right?
not. No, we're not. Stay away from the light.
I know, right? That's true. No, rock and roll. to me, will always be in my heart.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know,
Yeah.
and classical music. I love classical guitar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anybody that's ever held a classical guitar and played a piece, you're over. It's over with.
Right, definitely. Yeah, well, my dad was huge music. He was a luthier. He used to make guitars, and so I've listened to all kinds of music. Herb Albert and Tijuana
Yeah.
Brass. You know that lady,
Of course.
Whipped Cream. She's still alive. She's 60-some years old. Her picture was
Really?
on Facebook,
That's
and I was
great.
like, "What? That's her. That's her. I remember. I wanted one of those
I
dresses."
recently saw is it the Supertramp gal?
Yeah,
She was on Facebook.
yeah.
Isn't that something?
Isn't that amazing?
You know?
Yes. Roger Hodgkin, what a sweetheart.
Is
oh
that
my
right?
gosh.
Yeah.
The nicest guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've
so,
interviewed him.
and then, I don't know what else we got. We got a bunch of stuff coming up, you know, and we're also booking, 23, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's so much stuff going on, you know.
Did you go to Diamond last weekend when they had the 4 tributes there, Clutch and
That was the grunge thing.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
not- I didn't.
No.
We were, I think, we could have been in Atlanta. I remember, you know. Was it last weekend?
oh, it was.
Yeah.
You were gone.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, there is a place for it. Everybody has their thing, you know. So, but
yeah.
I can't listen to it.
Was it Alice in Chains?
There was an Alice in
Clutch.
Chains, yeah, Clutch,
Stone Temple?
Stone Temple
Yeah.
Pilots,
Yeah.
yeah, 4, all talented.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh, the talent in this town is amazing. I mean,
Talk about that all the time.
it is
I've been
amazing.
all over the country. I will put our town in.
I've said it too because
Yeah.
I've been all over too. I've been all over. I've only been out of the country to Mexico. That's
Yeah.
it. But other than that, there's no city that does what we do.
Indeed.
And no city has all the musicians we have.
Maybe LA because they gravitate over that, but I'm just telling you is because guys don't gravitate to St. Louis, but the talent base is incredible. I mean, you could be an incredible guitar player. You could be 20th in St. Louis. You go to wherever, Kansas City, you're going to be like, dude, you're a god.
Right.
So, well, you know, I live in St. Louis. I'm 30th.
I know.
Right?
It's
You know?
it's crazy. It's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I can't. It's hard for me to wrap my head around the other states or cities or whatever that don't have the music culture we do.
Agreed.
Every freaking venue is busy every weekend.
Why is that? I'm not sure why that is, but I'm proud of it and I welcome it.
Right,
You know?
and it's and when I was booking bands, I mean, of course, everything was booked all the time, but it was now it's do they have a following? Well, you can't go on that. You can't. It's that's going to be that's a chicken egg thing. It's never going to be settled because
No.
not every bar and every band are going to fit. I don't care who you are because I've seen some bands who draw from out of the woodwork, and I'll put them in a venue. They don't draw at all, and you know, sometimes it just doesn't fit.
The state of the union in bands is like one and done sometimes, and you better bring people. You know, because you don't get a chance to build a following like you used to.
No, you
So
don't.
you better bring some freaking people. You better post. You better boost it. You better just be yourself. If you're a good band, if you're so good you cannot be denied.
Right.
That's one thing.
Right.
You know, but you know if you have to push everything, then do it like that.
Exactly.
You
Well,
know?
the venue has to bring it too.
The
The
venue
venue has
has-
to bring it. The venue has to welcome all these people they're bringing. You can't bring your 50,000 people and then
Especially if you're out of town.
Exactly.
You know, the venue has 70% responsibility.
Yes,
To me,
yes,
your band has about 30.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're out of town,
right, exactly.
you have to be so undeniable
Mm-hmm.
that I got to see this, and that's hopefully when I conceived this. And there's been so many people in this band. I can tell you, Ryan Ellis was our singer for about 10 minutes. I know, right?
Oh, bless his heart. Bless his heart.
Yeah, he was our singer for a while. This is
Right.
way before he passed. But what was I getting to? Just it's just got to be undeniable. I want to see you. I don't know what about you, what you do. When we prepared this band, I said I want to combine Ozzy with a spectacle, Kiss, whatever. I want to combine those two so we can not be denied. You know, I want flames. I want blah blah blah.
Right.
You know? So that's what we tried to do. You know?
Right.
You know.
You have to
I
bring
gotta
the
see
show.
this man. I don't know anything about him, but I gotta see him.
Exactly.
When you're freaking in Wisconsin, you know, You know, and all you can do is really throw your promo up there.
Right.
Yeah, and that's about all. You know, that's all you can do. You can go out there and actually shake people's hands. They come out and see us 2 months for the show. No, you can't do that. So you just throw your stuff out there.
Right.
You know?
Definitely, for
You
sure.
know, the campaign's important. You
Well,
know?
it's a combined effort all the way around. It can't just be, you know, how many people can they bring? I don't want to hear that. You know what? What are you going to bring? What are you going to do for them? What are you
Well-
going to do? You're going to have good service? Are you going to have what they want? Is there a green room? Do they got to change outside?
Yeah.
You know what? It's
Everything.
give and take.
Another thing is when you're out of town, door deals are a no-no for me because that just puts all the liability on you.
Right.
That owner don't give a crap because now it's all on you. I'm going to pay you $10. I'm going to pay you $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
It's all on you, and that's not conducive to what we do. You know?
No.
It's just it can't be.
No. No. There's
You know,
only.
we do backside deals. I want to guarantee plus backside.
Mhm.
You know, right now. You know, but I'm telling you, the front side of that deal is pretty damn good. You
Right.
know, so if we don't get a backside, we're okay. You
Right.
know, that's how we roll.
Well, you have to.
Yeah,
You've
you
got to
have
cover yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise you can't keep doing what you're doing.
And thankfully, being in this thing 12 years now, we're not playing small places. We're not playing places that don't have a following.
Right.
They continuously have these mid-level nationals and tributes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So now we roll in. I got to see this band.
Right,
You know, this
exactly.
intrigues me. You know, this is interesting to me.
Yes.
Hopefully we don't deny. We don't disappoint. You know?
Well, of course.
You
I
know,
mean,
right?
yes,
And
definitely.
we're not going to disappoint Friday night. I'm going to promise you that. You know.
Well, no.
We got a
I mean,
2-hour show, and Night Train comes in for 90 minutes. It's going to be fantastic. The Family Arena needed a good hard rock show, and I think we're it. You know?
oh, definitely. And where are your stack of tickets? Did you bring them with?
Dang.
You forgot your
Wait,
tickets
I
too?
got 'em. I got them.
You have a stack? Okay.
I got a stat for you.
And
Absolutely.
so, yeah, we'll have some here at the studio. You
Yeah.
can hit Scott up, hit
Yeah.
anybody up in the band.
Absolutely.
So,
And they're all over town.
Yes.
I posted on my Facebook where they're at, and Mike does that, and everyone. Yeah, they're all over town. Joe's Music and all of the Music Exchange or Playing Again, whatever that place is called.
did you take a CD warehouse to see Walter?
CD, of course. Walt. Yeah.
Walter's the
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's awesome. We got to give a shout out to Walter and to Joe. You guys rock. And Joe's taking a step down. He's taking
about
us.
a month ago.
Yeah, he's taking a step back, and it's all good. I mean, he's hilarious. I mean, he's
Once again, he's like Paul. He's got to get his son through college and into collegiate. I think he's doing football. Just do what you got to do.
both of his boys.
It'll be here when you return. You know.
Well, and I know he'll probably pop in here and there because he can't not sing. I mean, he just can't. He's too amazing.
Yeah, indeed.
He really is. But I know the store is taking off, and it's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, and I know he was missing his family because he's a great family. And Jennifer, oh my God, love her.
Yeah.
They were on a Cancun trip that we went on.
Oh, right on.
Hysterical.
Nice.
I mean, falling down laughing. He's hilarious. He's got such a great dry wit, you know.
Yeah. You know, and I wonder. I know he wants to do the Queensryche thing still. Just do something. Do one thing.
Right.
Do whatever you want to do.
Right.
You know, just do one thing.
Right,
No,
exactly.
I can't do it. 'Cause I got my son. I said, no, do your son.
That's right. Kids got to come
Get your
first.
son in college and get him off the pro ball.
Right,
You know.
exactly. Then he can support you in the manner you're accustomed.
Indeed, right?
That's right, because that's what they're for.
Yeah.
That's what they're supposed to do, right?
That's it. That's a fact. They're supposed to do better than you and sometimes support you in your twilight years.
In your twilight, yeah, right.
Right?
Are they buying that house for you in Florida?
Yeah, I hope. Come on, Ian and Tyler. You know, Daddy needs a new house.
That's right. Or you can come take care of me.
Right.
Or you can ship us to
Yeah.
Florida.
Well, but I'm not going there till, no, it'd be 10 years. You know, but it's nice. I'm gonna buy and pay for it. You know.
Yeah, but to not do your band, to not
Oh, it won't
play.
happen. No way. I'll be in my late 60s before we stop that.
No, you
Yeah.
won't. You're such a liar.
And then I'll go down and do bossa nova music in Florida Keys. You know, I'm good with that.
As long as you keep playing.
Indeed. Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
That's just part of you. It's,
I mean, before all this acoustic stuff, I was one of the first people to do acoustic music around with this gal that we did acoustic music, and it just blew up. Everybody's doing acoustic music now. We used to do the acoustic shows in the wineries, and do that down in Florida.
Yeah, everybody does that. I mean,
Everybody,
well, I mean, it's a lot of venues want that because there's still music and it's still live
It's
and
budgetable.
it's budgetable and it's not where people can't talk to each other,
That's true.
So
Yeah.
it's it just works that way.
That's right.
So, it depends. Like, well, and some of these, a few new bars that have popped up or started up, and I said, don't start booking the high dollar bands to start with. That's your first mistake. You go with, we do some solos and duos on Friday nights,
Sure.
and then Saturday do a full
That's
band. And that way,
Well-
you can ease into it, and then you'll see what you want, who you want to
That's right.
play, and stuff. And you can afford that because you've got all this other stuff that you're dealing with.
I always talk to the booking agent that I deal with, Suncoast Productions, Miles Spano, down in Tampa. He goes, we don't want to do a board-up tour. You don't want to play the venue and they got a board up because you asked for so much money,
Right.
and
Right.
they never open up again.
Right, right.
That's the fact. You want to keep these bands, these bars alive.
Definitely.
And when a bar opens up, no, of course they can't afford the $1,800 a night bands.
No, and I remember back in 10, 11 years ago, we had new bars opening up, and this guy who came, he actually, it ended up he was renting the bar because the person who owned it didn't sell it, but he was going to run
Sure,
it.
at least, right.
Never owned a bar before.
Oh, boy.
And there were agents all over him telling him he needed to book the high dollar bands immediately. No,
So
because
how long was he in business?
it lasted maybe a year, maybe.
Until he ran out of somebody else's money,
And then, and by the time he got a hold of me, I know, I said, look, let me tell you how this went down. And I'm sorry, but start slow, work your way
Gain
up.
momentum.
Yes. I try to explain that to him, but, I'm a girl, I don't know what I'm talking about, so.
That's a fact.
Because all
That is a
these
fact.
all these other
But
guys
then
are,
again,
yeah.
You know as good as I do, and we've all learned that the band sometimes will keep you in business. This great band that's going to pack your house will keep you in business. The great tribute bands, these great nationals, these great covers, whatever you got.
Right.
They're going to pack this house, and they're going to ring that cash register.
Right.
Sometimes the $300 bands don't.
Right.
It's a fact.
Right.
I'm sorry, but it's a fact.
Well, you have to know your dynamics. You have to know the demographics of where the bar is and who is going to do well. Like
Sure.
some of the Illinois bands don't do so well in St. Charles County, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But some of them do.
Indeed.
You just have to know who plays well because you got to have the following no matter where you're at because people
Yeah.
still don't want to go over the bridge. Why?
No, I don't know about that. I don't know why anymore that, like, Pops, I haven't been over to Pops, and I want to go when they start bringing in good bands. But I saw Conquest and Pantera. I'll probably go with that one, but there's so many good things on this side. Maybe that's why. Maybe there's not a whole lot of things on that side of the river, and all these bands got to come over here, but they still got to promote. They got to promote. And another thing, these venues, some of these venues don't have ample parking. So, I'm going to pay this band $1,000, and I can't have people parking in this place. And then I
Right.
got to stick with the $300 to $500 bands.
Right,
And
exactly.
Let's roll with that for the rest of my days.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't have like the Diamond. For Christ's sakes, they got ample amount of parking.
Well, yeah.
They got,
But
they got the venue, they got the PA now. But places like Parrots, they don't have parking. You're going to be parking out in Highway 40.
Right.
If they bring in a band that's $2,000 and there's 1,000 people come to see him, so he's got to be a realist too. That's how I see it.
Right.
I could be
Oh,
wrong.
no.
but
No.
Yeah.
It's that's kind of an issue, but he's working on some other things to try to curb that. But there are a few bands that do very well there.
Absolutely.
And people will stack on top of each other to go and see them.
Indeed.
And that's all fine.
Yeah.
Okay, we're keeping them on the calendar then,
I know. Oh,
so,
no question about
but
that. Yeah.
it happens that way. Even Salvatore's sometimes, because Salvatore's and Rebar right next to each other.
Yep.
And they both have two good bands, and you can't find a place to park either.
That's
And
correct.
they have it for miles too.
That's
So,
correct. Yeah.
but I like it because you can go back and forth. When
Yeah,
one's on break, you go next door. The other's
It's
on
like
break,
the-
you go next
It's
door.
like the landing used to be. Besides, there's only 2 bars. You know, I'm
Right.
going over here. Remember St. Louis Landing?
Oh yeah, it was every,
Come on.
Kennedy's, Bogarts,
And
you know.
right?
I mean, it was all
Muddy
the way down.
Waters,
Muddy
whatever,
Waters.
you know.
Oh yeah, it was.
We
Wow.
used to play All American Saloon.
All American
In our
Saloon.
breaks, we go over to Muddy Waters and
Uh-huh.
see who else is playing. We had half an hour. Go make our rounds. You know.
Yeah, I worked at the Brass Rail. I was a bartender
Brass
there.
Rail,
We
right.
closed at 1:30.
Yeah.
Went over to Oz
That's right.
and did the whole disco bullshit, and then it closed at 3:30. And we hopped over to Pops.
That's indeed right.
That original Pops. Those walls, if they could talk before they burned down.
The
Oh
wood
my.
building. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, thank God there were no videos, Facebook, or we did some
what
stupid
went on
shit.
in that balcony? We'll just keep
Stay
to
in that
ourselves.
balcony,
Right,
yes. Oh my God, I'm surprised it wasn't, what's the word I'm looking
Right.
for?
Like hedonism. Sometimes out there,
Solidified.
You know,
I
right,
mean, it's,
right. That's right. You know,
but we were invincible. I
it
mean,
was a good time.
it
It was
was.
a good time to be
It was simple.
early 20s.
It was simple.
Indeed.
I mean, the bullshit and the stresses and pressures that kids have to deal with nowadays, it wasn't like that.
Everything.
It wasn't like that, and like I said before, everything was in moderation. I mean, it wasn't so intense.
Yeah.
You know, everything was just easier. I mean, you worried about. That was when you had to run home and check your answering machine, and you knew every phone number was all in your head. Can I remember my own phone number? Barely.
Right. And then it was Tuesday night. Where am I going to go when I get home?
Right.
Now it's Wednesday night. Where am I going to go when I get
Oh
home?
no.
You know?
Happy hour, 2
Right.
for 1.
Right.
Who has the better buffet?
Right. And
I mean, you can eat all that.
You know you're going to be at Stages on Wednesday nights.
Right.
You're probably going to be there on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday too.
Right.
And then you're going to make your way over to Granny's Rockers, and then you're
Wood River Music
Whatever,
Room,
right.
the Granary,
Right.
yes, all those
Right.
places.
And you would not fear, if you were by yourself, you would not fear for your life.
No.
An iota.
No.
Were you dumb, maybe? I don't know.
No,
Were you naive? But I didn't.
no.
I always went there by myself. No.
It really didn't matter, and if you weren't, and you ran into somebody, it's either somebody you knew or you just made a new friend.
Indeed.
Because it just wasn't like it is now. Same with walking downtown on the landing. I mean, it was like no big deal, no big deal.
Yeah.
But
But they're rebuilding it. We have a developer down there.
they've had developers down there for years. They just keep saying that so they can keep writing it off. They're trying to run Shady Jacks out, and they're not
Oh,
gonna.
really?
They're not gonna run him out because he owns all of it.
No.
He owns every bit of it, and shame on them. But yeah, they used to really give him a hard time as far
Is
as
that right?
writing up violations for this thing or that
Everything,
thing. It was ridiculous. He was on the show, and he was telling us about it. And I said, "That's bullshit."
Do we really need another vacant building down there if they run him out? Go ahead, run him out. Then you're going to have a vacant building.
Well, he is selling. He will sell the place if he wants to buy it. It's a cool venue for
Okay,
sure.
Yeah.
It's one of the best.
Is anybody in House of Rock?
House Rock is leveled. Actually, it's not leveled. I went back over there because I thought about that a few years ago, and I looked in the window, and I don't know what it is now. It's still the strip mall is still there, but it
Okay.
was completely empty. They took everything out,
No kidding.
and it wasn't even 6 months after they closed, and I went, oh my
They
God.
wanted him out for some reason, just like a more Baja Rock Club.
I worked there. I bartended there.
Okay. I don't think anyone ever occupied that holding after he left. I don't care if it was a real estate agent, it was a whatever. It
Right.
never got occupied.
Really?
Now, what is the idea after that?
Well, as far as House of Rock, there was more to that, and we can talk about that off camera. But
Yeah.
yeah, there was more to that.
Okay.
As far as I don't know. I think they were, if I'm not mistaken, they were making it into one of those, a yogurt place or something, or some little rinky-dink something. I don't know. But there was nothing there. The bar wasn't there. It was completely empty.
Yeah.
They already cleaned it up and had tile on the floor, but I couldn't tell what it was going to be.
That's kind of pain Joe DeBishop. Yeah.
Gotta love Joe. Well, Joe walked away from that.
I know. Yeah.
But he's over at Sharpshooters.
There you go. Nice.
Have you been over there?
I have not.
Oh,
No.
that's one of those places where they start barbecuing at 2 a.m.
Is that right?
and the food is amazing.
Definitely make my way over there.
But yeah, he's there super early. You can send him a message, and he'll hook you up. So yeah, Joe's Joe. He's a
Nice.
sweetheart.
Yeah.
Still the nicest guy.
Nice.
He is. But yeah, he went to Sharpshooters after that. He's been there ever since. So,
Simpsons House of Rock.
mhm,
Is that right? Okay, good. Good for him.
yeah.
Good for him.
And they've hooked us up on a couple of gigs, as far as food for the bands in the green room.
Nice.
Super nice. Very
Yeah.
cool. Didn't have to, but he knows.
That's right.
He gets it.
You know, they never treated the band bad. I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
We never got treated bad. I don't know about the other bands, but we always got treated great at House of Rock.
As long as Joe was there,
Yeah.
everybody, it was all about, this is the reason we're here.
I
This
rest
is
my
the
case.
reason you're
I
here.
know, right? Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's the instance where maybe the bar owners need to understand if they don't have parking. We've talked about that, but these bands are keeping you alive. Just remember that. Treat them okay. Treat them good. Don't
Well-
treat them like a secret-headed stepchild, a dog.
Well,
You know?
and the other side of that is that you know as well as I do, bad news travels faster than good news. You piss off one band that's 4 or 5 members, their significant others.
Yeah.
They tell 2 friends, and
It's
then
a
they
wave.
tell 2 friends, and they tell 2
Yeah,
friends.
it's a wave.
And
Yeah.
that spreads faster. That's horrible because
Yeah.
I have seen that. You've seen it.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't yell at them. You can't scream at them. You can't short them. You can't say there's not enough people in here. I'm cutting you loose. That is suicide.
I know. Yeah.
And we've all seen it, done it, and been there, right?
I have.
And
I
it's
have.
like-
Well, done it and had it done to me.
Yes.
You know, not in the last 12 years, but I've had it done to me.
Contract.
Yeah,
That's
that's true.
That's what those are good for,
Yeah.
because every one I've ever used, it says the band gets paid 5 minutes after they step on that stage.
Yeah,
Short of a natural disaster or Mother Nature,
right.
you owe the band.
We played in the Boot Hill, and it was in my contract that I got paid. You're gonna step on my bus and you're gonna give me a cash in my hand before
Right.
you step on stage. No
Mhm.
problem.
Right.
You know, the place was packed. It was an outside festival. No
Exactly.
problem. You know, but it's in the contract, so you don't leave nothing open for failure. You know,
Right.
just don't do it.
No,
You know, people have amnesia.
I know. But then the other side of that is, and there's always a cancellation fee, and it goes both ways. Because that stuff happens.
COVID, you
Stuff
had to waive
happens
all
with the
that.
band,
Indeed.
or
Yeah.
so it's fair to the owner, the bar owner too.
That's true
because
too.
That's
Absolutely.
they got to have something too. So it's not
I think I was booking a place called, was it Washies out in
Washies, and
Illinois?
yeah, that's Waterloo.
Yeah, Waterloo. I was doing some tribute series there, and it didn't work out, but we were doing a House in Chains and Stone Temple Pilots tribute coming in. The guy, Stone Temple Pilots guys got COVID. What are you going to do there? I get it. COVID was a touchy thing.
I know.
You know.
Well, it wasn't just
COVID
that; it was the
dropped
band
down.
members who have families and little kids and didn't want to deal with getting that, playing a gig and
Right.
taking it home.
That's true.
That makes sense too,
Yeah,
and there were
very
some
true.
bands that just didn't play at all
Yeah.
until they felt like it was safe.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
so you can't really fault anybody for that.
You can, absolutely. We hope that's over, and let's move on. Let's get these venues packed every night. Every bar is packed every night. And I see that more now. I see it, and it makes me feel great that these bars are packed. I see Chesterfield Amphitheater absolutely cram packed. Then I'll go to Brewski's, and that cram packed, and it's like, this is wonderful.
Right.
This is where we need to be.
Definitely. But there's and it's just kind of heartbreaking when every venue is packed with bands and whoever, and they can't always go see each other, or they can't go to other venues and
Yeah.
visit the band they like, or their buddies, or their friends, or their relatives, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like me. I mean, I think my record one night was 7 venues.
In one night.
One night I went to 7 venues because it's like I gotta see them, I gotta see them, I gotta see them. So I spend more time driving than staying because I couldn't stay long enough
Show your
because I
face
had to
saying,
get
"I'm here."
yeah, I had to get to the next one or whatever.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't think I'm gonna do that again. Sorry guys, I just can't go to every gig.
That's a fact. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I wish I could.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad saw over the weekend. I think I saw Newtown, St. Charles was cram packed. Chesterfield Amphitheater was cram packed. Just all these bars are just getting people are coming out. And that's wonderful.
Yeah,
You know?
the summertime ones are cool.
And we're seeing it too. You know, I mean, we have 2,000, 3,000 people show up at these venues. And that's a great feeling.
That's awesome.
You know,
The drive-in thing was a good idea a couple years ago. You know, the drive-in.
great idea.
You know, over there at the
Why'd they stop that?
370. Oh, it's political.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
It's
you know,
political.
Do we have a bullshit button?
We
Bullshit.
do. Let me see which one it is. We're gonna call it this one.
That's right.
Because it was just bullshit. But I mean, it was fun. It was a great idea. We had some killer bands played, and everybody liked that. It was like being at the drive-in. You know, and you could either
And you
sit.
got to watch the movie too, right?
Yeah, and then a movie afterwards. It was fun. It was a blast.
You know, I was going, well, why is that Madman's Diary involved with this stuff? You know?
Why
But
did
that's
you
a-
not throw your hat in the ring?
Well, we only play here once a year, by design. You know, and Chesterfield St. Charles Family Arena is it for this year, and we'll see what happens next year. You know, for sure.
Do you need to take that?
No.
Well, I mean, what other venues? Just is that the only one you're gonna play? You're just gonna do Family
Well,
Arena?
we're also doing in December. I am doing a grassroots. It's Randy Rhoads Remembered at the Diamond. It's kind of what they did in LA at the Whiskey. So we're just gonna have a bunch of musicians just remembering Randy Rhoads, and we're gonna bring some memorabilia. I'm gonna bring all my guitars. I'm gonna bring whatever I got in Randy Rhoads. Just a Randy Rhoads remember him.
Very
You know,
cool.
that's what we're gonna do in December. It's not even Madman's Diary. It's just Randy Rhoads Remembered. We're all gonna get up there and play. You know, it's not gonna be like an open jam because it's gonna be just Ozzy probably. You know, so work on your Ozzy, people. Work on it.
That's right. Who wants to play with these guys? Who wants to play a Diamond? They do have a badass stage.
You know, and that's what we're in talks right now. And I want to do that like they do with the Whiskey.
Oh yeah. Have you seen Sam Bam at the Whiskey? Have you been there at the same time?
I've seen video of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember who was out there, and they saw Sam Bam. They were and I was like, man, that'd be awesome. That's one
Yeah.
place I do want to go.
Been there many times. I never got the honor to play there. There's a band called Mr. Crowley out there that's got the Ozzy.
No
wrapped up.
shit.
That's another region that we can't infiltrate, you know.
Right.
Now we got Mr. Crowley here, you know.
Darn.
Darn, right? We were this close from being on the World's Greatest Tribute Bands, though. And,
Really?
And they're in Orange County, and they got it because they can drive there, you know.
And
And we had to fly there, you know.
but you got a cool bus.
I know, right? Have you seen my bus?
Who hasn't seen your bus? You put it on Facebook. Look at this. We're on our way.
I
And I
know,
was like,
right?
God, look at that
Remember
fucking
this.
that
Don't
bus.
break into it. Just remember it. You know.
Don't throw stuff at it either.
Right.
Well, we are going to play a little. Do you remember Soul Kiss?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Faulkner's old band. I love this song. We're gonna take a little break.
Awesome.
Episode 110. Stl Roar, mycitymymusic.com. Scott Bushman from Madman's Diary in the house. We'll be right back. Play.
Place with color
of the Hill song.
Nice.
Yeah. Actually, it's on the last CD they put together. It's 2 CDs. It never got released though.
Okay. This is the one that was still in the plan, never got opened up, never got released.
Laying here, baby, counting stars. Wanna know what got this far, baby. Just
So
you
my guy
and
Mike,
me.
when he goes on vacation with his
I
best
couldn't
friend,
say we
they'll
didn't
take a road
know
trip.
the
And
heartache
they
of
rode
letting
to,
go,
on their bikes, they
babe.
rode to somewhere in,
Couldn't we see?
they went all over Arkansas this time. They've been
No,
done
no.
44 states with bikes.
Yeah,
So he started while he was on the road.
I've been missing you.
Where they stopped and started driving.
So if I say you tomorrow, don't you know it's not too long, babe? If I see you crying, can you see our love so strong? You gotta know, I said I think I need you. Rain, rain, go away, won't you come back some other day, babe? I need the sun to shine. Doesn't matter, don't you know? Doesn't matter where I go, baby. You're always on my mind.
Oh, when I had that show.
Whoa, no, no, baby. Whoa, I need you today. Whoa, no, no, baby. Whoa, I've been missing you. If I say you tomorrow, don't you know it's not too long, babe? If I see you crying, don't you know our love's so strong? You gotta know, 'cause I think I need you.
Don't tell me that.
I need you
I mean, it says it all right there. Because nobody was irrelevant.
Yeah, what I mean, I don't.
If I say you tomorrow, don't you know it's not too long, babe? If I see you crying, you gotta know our love that's wrong, babe. If I hear lonely, don't you know I'll be there, baby? If I say I need to tell you, baby, oh no, I said I think that I love you.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Well, they went on the road. They did their
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And then I guess we're done. Oh, we didn't play. We were talking. We were talking.
Was it listening to us?
No, it was playing. We were talking.
Oh.
I guess we'll come back now. Episode 110, Stl Roar, mycitymymusic.com. Scott Bushman from Madman's Diary in the house. Yay! This is the best audience. You don't have to feed them. You don't have to drink them. You don't have to buy them anything.
That's it.
They just like to hear music,
That's right.
which is cool.
And stories.
And stories, lots of stories.
Stories of our 40 years or 45 years
Oh
of
my
music.
God!
you
It's
know?
like a high school reunion that never ends.
Indeed. 16, 15, my mom had to drive me to the Animal House with my guitar and amplifier.
The Animal House, yes.
Right.
Thank God there were no photos there.
Which I played both of them. I played the one on Hanley.
Oh, no
I
shit.
played the one away out in 367.
Oh my God! What was the first venue you played?
The Animal House for sure.
And
I was
what band was it?
15. It was a band called Teaser.
Who was in it? Who was in it? Who was in it?
Doug Hopkins, Eric Peterson, Steve Davis, and Tim Levine. For Christ's sake,
Shut
he
up!
was the drummer.
What? He told me he could play drums. I didn't believe him. And he
He
got
was
up and
our
jammed. I was
drummer.
like, holy shit, he can play drums.
I know, right? He was our drummer, and
Wow.
so the bass player and I, Steve Davis, we answered an ad. The singer and keyboard player were looking for a couple guys. We answered an ad on Tuesday night. We played the Animal House on Saturday night. We practiced nonstop. Didn't do anything but practice for those 4 days.
How many songs did you guys play?
We did like 40 minutes.
You did a 40-minute set?
Yes,
That's amazing.
and we opened up for the band Titan. Remember those guys?
Oh my God.
J.P. Pennington.
I love JP. I
And-
love JP.
Yeah, as I remember, God dang, it's all coming back.
That
was
is-
my first, probably almost. I say real gig because it was a venue.
Right,
You
right,
know, I mean,
right.
you play parties, whatever the hell,
Right.
you know, high school shit. But you're 15 and 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Definitely. I love these old pictures. I've got a bunch of old pictures, like old promo packs, and John Ringling when he was, his first band.
That was God dang
It was
Cherry something.
Cherry Splits. That was the
Cherry
second one.
Oh, was
the
it?
first
Okay.
one was what was it? It was with Steve Bunk and Steve Barker, and they played like high school gigs and
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Gosh dang, I can't remember the name
I
of it
mean,
now.
we played like a high school.
When
stuff.
everybody had hair.
Anyway, everyone, you know. Yeah, I remember a lot of those bands came through the Animal House when we were not drinking of it, But
Right.
we played the bars before I could drink.
Everybody did.
We migrated over to like Fantasy on Dunn Road.
Yeah, but everybody
you know.
did. If you
They did.
remember, they
Yeah.
didn't care if you had a fake ID or not. They
That's
want the girls in the bar,
Indeed.
and it didn't matter if you were underage or not.
Yeah.
Nope, it wasn't that big of a deal.
I guess Greg Tinker owned Fantasy, and I walked in with soda. Hey, you want a band? Blah. You know how stupid we are back then. Yeah, we'll try it. Why not? $300. And it was like 6 months later, there was a fucking line wrapped around the
Right,
place. You know?
right, that's
So,
cool.
okay, now we're talking.
How
you know?
fun was that,
Yeah.
huh? My favorite song when it comes to new bands, or you talk about your memories from the first gig you ever played, it was Joe's Garage by Frank Zappa.
Yeah.
How perfect is that song to every garage band ever?
every
And we only
experience.
knew one song, and the girls were like, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen to
Yeah.
that song, it will humble you because it will take you back, and you're gonna go, oh my God, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
I just listened to it about a month ago, and I was in tears and laughing at the same time because
Yeah.
you can picture it, the whole thing, you
Yeah.
know. Lousy, you don't even know how bad you are, but
Indeed, right?
you're in a band.
And then we migrated to probably like the Brass Spurs and Cadney, and
Yep.
we would come in on Saturday, and Ferrari had played there on Friday.
Gotta love
It's like,
Ferrari.
come on, man. You
Mhm.
know, these guys were 10 years older than me, but it's like, okay,
It didn't matter.
This'll work.
It
This'll
didn't.
work.
I remember, well, you've seen Greg Bishop's site,
I love that site. I'm on there like 8 times.
the
you know?
Sheiks.
Sheiks.
Oh my
I saw that picture on the way over.
I think
know.
is there only that one guy still around, or is there one or two people left? At Dichotomy, I think there's only one guy left out of the
Oh,
band.
is that right?
You remember Dichotomy at
I
Muddy
do.
Waters?
Yeah.
They heckled everybody who walked in the door.
Me included because of my hair and leather jacket. As I'm leaving an All-American Saloon on my break,
Mm-hmm.
I got ridiculed. Who is this? You know,
Right.
you're honored now.
It was
Right.
all part of it.
It was,
They were a
totally.
blast.
But the Sheiks, we would play venues. We would tour with it. We would be going around the venues
Mm-hmm.
with the Sheiks and Ferrari and Faustus and
Big fun.
big fun.
Shout out to Kenny Kruger.
Right. drummer Kevin Callaghan, you know
Kevin, yes, I know Kevin Calca. He's the drummer for Rock Bottom now.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah, he plays, well, him and Steve Hall. You know, Steve Hall
I know,
was in Saturn Cats,
of course,
so.
yeah. I was in Saturn Cats.
And you were in Saturn Cats. Who wasn't in Saturn Cats?
I know, right?
We're all in Saturn Cats.
Steve and I started that band years ago. We
Right.
recruited all the guys.
Right.
But anyway, Alice in Chains was in Mississippi Nights.
Mhm.
And they come in with the All-American Club. Steve, and at the time, Kevin Calca's the only one that knew him.
Right.
Because he lived in Seattle at the time.
Right.
But dude, that's fucking Alice in Chains right there. But I never even heard
Oh,
of them. Because they're working on their EP. They're touring their EP.
Right,
You know?
right,
And we know where they went, you know?
right.
So,
Nobody can
Back
touch
in the
them.
day.
Yes, back in the day. Shanahan, when he does Alice in Chains, oh my God, nobody can touch Shanahan.
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Shanahan, he's another amazing artist.
here,
Very
here again,
talented.
the talent here.
It's you can't touch it.
No.
And no matter how many times there have been tantrums and egos and attitudes and all that bullshit, but when push comes to shove, we still all come together.
And well, we know Bobby Taylor.
It's just, it's amazing. I
We all
mean,
came together. You know, that
Mhm.
was a bunch of guys that egos maybe, some egos maybe not. Who knows? Boom,
they were there.
they were there.
Mickey D, my benefit I did for him
Indeed.
adds, nobody could
Babylon,
touch
the
that.
Babylon.
39 bands,
I know, right?
2
Inside
stages,
out.
inside 2
Yeah.
stages.
We had just came home. I went there because we had just came home from Wisconsin,
Uh-huh.
and we went over there to visit. You know.
The best part of that, besides Mickey and all the musicians just showed up. I mean, there were some that showed up there who had not spoken to each other, that were had been in bands together, not spoken to each other in years, but they showed up. They are on stage. They're playing together like it's old times. It's all hugs and kisses, and
right,
it's like,
right.
what were we fighting about? You know, it's like when you see Mickey, who's like, you know, he's the bomb dig no matter what, and he's fighting for his life, and then it's like everybody like, oh wow, you know
As a
what?
matter of fact, I believe he's going to be there Friday.
Awesome.
And he is our. I've been over to his house a couple times. He's on our street team, so I need some more tickets. He's out giving tickets loud. You
Oh,
know,
yeah,
right?
he is,
You know,
and-
right? You know.
I mean, when he was first sick and he couldn't hardly lift a guitar, you know, he didn't forget what he was doing though. I mean, he's still, because Brian uses him, Dwight Sauer uses him, a lot of people still use him.
He was on the road with us.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he went on the road with us.
That's
Come
cool.
on, let's go. Okay, you know.
Oh yes, what a sweetheart.
He wore his white shorts because that's what he floor layers in.
Yeah,
What are you doing with your work clothes on? Don't worry about it. Let's
right.
go.
I know, bless his heart, but he can't do that anymore. It's really sad.
No, well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But so Rob Fox. Well, see, I had the stage on the inside. I had Jerry Bosher doing sound on the inside. I had Shy Tower on the outside.
That's correct. Yeah.
And the venue, the Babylon, had double booked us with that core show and the dog show. So I said, you've already gave me my date. So we decided to just go ahead and put it all together. Kind of got messed up a little bit, but regardless, Rob Fox, he said, yeah, I got your stage. And their band played Columbia that night before. And he says, I'm on my way. 9 o'clock in the morning, he comes rolling in
Oh yeah.
and hungover, still drunk from last night.
Yeah.
Him and who was it? Who was the stagehand? He was I don't remember. Anyway, one of his buddies, he says, I got your stage. So they set it up in the parking lot, and I couldn't believe it. He says, don't tell anybody I brought the stage because I don't want anybody to know. I don't want any credit for this. It's not my day.
Right on.
It's Mickey D's. And
Yeah,
I'm
neat.
like,
Yeah.
okay, Rob, I won't say anything. And I didn't say anything until after, unfortunately, rest in peace. I said, you're not going to believe this, but I have to tell the story. And he said, don't tell anybody. And Johnny Cruz showed up, and the two of them were hot dogging it up. I mean, it's hilarious. I mean, Rob was he was just a sweetheart of a guy. I
Yeah.
mean, just one of those guys. But that was one of my favorite memories of that day, just because
Nice.
he said,
That was a good day.
it was a great day. It ended up being a great
was a
day.
good day.
I couldn't believe it worked. I said, we have a back line on both stages. You got 15 minutes to get on and off.
Yeah.
We started at noon, and we were done because Boschert had to do Nancy's open jam at night shift that night.
Oh,
He had to be there by 8:30. 7:45, the last band rolled off the stage. Boom! I
He's
mean,
out of there.
I couldn't believe we ran all those bands through in 8 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Who
amazing.
managed the stage that we were in? Was it a free for all?
No, I was running both.
You were
I
managing
managed
the
both
stage.
stages,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was back
That's
and
real
forth,
important.
and it
Yeah.
was just.
Keep those
But we had a
guys on
schedule. We had a
Yeah,
schedule, and they kept doing it. Outside we had a few issues, and that was because of the cars and the dogs.
Did it rain?
No,
Okay.
it was supposed to. It tried to,
That's right.
but it didn't.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of touch and go, but we still managed to get everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody played. I couldn't believe it. 39. I mean, that was the fastest turnaround when I put out there on Facebook who wants to play for this benefit. It was inside of 10 minutes. I had 25 bands wanting to play.
Neat. Yeah.
I was like, wow.
I know we were up in Wisconsin, and we didn't get there till 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I drove home and undid the trailer, and we drove down there. You know. Shout out to you, Mickey.
Yeah, good old
Yeah,
Mickey
love
D.
it,
I don't know. His whole family, honestly. But yeah, he's gone through some shit for sure.
He was sick, and he had this. I built this pedal board. He was, come on, man, let me stand it for you, because he was a floor layer all his life. So I brought it out there, and he's on chemo and stuff. He's out there standing and stuff. Shout out to you, my brother.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it was really when he told me he was sick about 3 or 4 months before that, and I did not realize how bad. And then he says, I'm going tonight, I'll let you know. And then when he did let me know, I said, is this when you told me you weren't going to tell me, and you told me anyway? And my boss, Andy Beanie, also stage 4 throat cancer at the same time Mickey D.
Is that right?
So, yeah, they're both within a week.
Is that right?
And I said, Andy, am I doing a benefit for you? He says, oh, we'll do something later at my house. But he just had, it went in, it looked like a golf ball stuck in his throat. And they did surgery, and they accidentally had to cut one of his vocal cords. So that's why his voice is still a little high, but he was supposed to be getting surgery to have it fixed.
Nice.
I said, can you make him sound like Sam Elliott?
I think Camp Muse will marry you if you do that, right?
Oh my gosh! Well, his nurse would call up there and say, "Can you make him sound like Sam Elliott?"
That's funny.
That's a big running joke, but
Shout out to you too, brother.
Oh yeah, definitely. Andy's the bomb.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was both of them. I couldn't believe it. I said, this is just not happening. But poor Mickey went through hell and back.
I know. I'm hopefully he's on the road to recovery. We hope. God darn you.
He's one of those that
get better, brother.
He's one of those that's just going to. He's not going to die ever. He's been to hell and back.
Indeed. That's a fact.
And he is still the.
And he's been on our street team. I mean, that dude. Hey, he reached out to me 2 weeks ago. Hey, I need some more tickets. And I've already given him like 5 big stacks. Where are these going? Don't worry about it. I got
They're
it.
going.
Right?
I know. Well, Mark and Tony used to give me all their tickets, but Tony's been cutting back on his shows.
Yeah.
Stacks of them.
Yeah.
And I would go, because everywhere I go, I leave them in bathrooms, bars, restaurants, whatever.
That's what I think we got 50,000, 55,000 out right now.
That's good.
So show up, would you? People?
Yes, and bring a friend.
And bring a friend.
Or 2 or 3.
August 19th. Right. Family
August
arena.
19th, and that starts what time?
Doors open at 6. Night train goes on at 7 to 8:30. We go on at 9.
And you'll have merch? You'll have merch?
We'll have merch. We've got hoodies and T-shirts and glasses and all that good stuff that keeps us on the road, keeps gas in our bus.
That's
And
right.
That's all that's for.
And soda.
And soda. Right.
Yeah, there's more in there.
I'm going to have one. No, truly, the merch does keep the fuel in the bus. And axles on our trailer.
Exactly.
Right.
And you need spare tires too.
And apparently I need a tire too.
Anybody know anybody with tires?
You might see one flying down Highway 64. So if you can grab it, I appreciate it.
Bring it back, I'll sign it for you.
That was the day. We were all like shitting kittens. Like, are we going to go home? We're going home with 3 tires,
Oh my God! I bet you're scared to death. Yeah. Jeez, was that the worst day, or was that just the last event? Or was it one of those that everything was happening?
No, it was a great venue. It was a great show. It was just one of those things. Trailers on the road, they typically suck. And I haven't had a flat tire. That's those things I haven't had that in a year, or 2 years. I get all new tires and everything. You try it. You prevent everything from going on.
Right. Exactly. It happens.
It does.
Shit happens. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
But
hey, whatever.
It is.
We got a great venue. Atlanta was awesome. We played Atlanta 6 months ago at Cummings, Georgia. We're going to Woodstock, Georgia. We played there once I think that's our new territory. We really like that. It's a great area right there. People love music. People love heavy metal. You know.
What about, have you done Sturgis?
We're supposed to be in Sturgis right now with Madman's Diary.
But
Right now.
you lost a wheel?
No, it had nothing to do with that. We thought, and I talked to the Full Throttle Junior and all that. We thought that Atlanta, coming home from Atlanta, being there a day, driving 2 hours, 2 days, Sturgis, playing 4 nights, and driving home. Then we got to do the family arena. We thought, let's just do it next year. So 23, we'll be there.
Oh,
Without
cool.
fail.
That's
You know,
awesome.
Yeah.
Very
we'll
cool.
do 4 shows up there.
At Full Throttle?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
Right.
we talked to I talked to Jeremy. I talked to and there's a place called Glencoe. We might share the shows. We might do 4 at Full Throttle and 2 at. You don't go up there and do 1. You go up there and do 6.
You have to.
Yeah.
So, will you guys all stay on your bus, or are you gonna rent a house, or what are you gonna do?
They'll give us accommodations.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, they'll give us cabins.
Very cool.
Now when I say cabins, it's like a room with a toilet in it. That's the cabin. So it's nothing like a 2-story palatial manor.
Well, tell them
know?
to give you a house. There's people that have
They do
rentals
have
all
big
the time.
ones, and I'll negotiate that. He
Yeah.
told, and Michael told me to give him a call after Sturgis is over, and it's over this week. So, but I'm gonna hit him up really fast. You know?
Have you? But you've done that gig before, haven't
Yeah,
you?
last year.
Oh,
With
okay.
Motley Crue Poison.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Plastic Kings, or is that
That's correct. No, the Pyromaniacs guys.
Pyromaniacs?
Yeah,
Okay.
we had the stadium tour.
Oh, okay.
We had Joan Jett open, and the whole Poison, Motley Crue, blah, 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 you know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were going to go again this year, but I guess not. So.
Yeah, something happened out here, something.
Oh. Right. Gotcha.
I don't know how much traveling he's doing right now.
I don't think a whole lot because he's got too much stuff to deal with, and
Yeah.
he's got to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's good. And
After-
you know, when you go on the road, you're not eating healthy. You're not doing anything healthy.
No, you're not. But you're living on adrenaline and no sleep, and you
No,
don't care.
that's
Then when you
correct.
get home, it's like you crash, and then you can't move because you're so freaking worn out.
That's
You need a
true.
vacation
That
from
is-
your
That
road
is
trip.
true. I know, right? And we all feel like that. Monday comes like, I gotta go to work and I need a vacation.
I know.
Yeah.
What the hell happened?
Yeah. This is supposed to be fun. This is fun, but for Christ's sakes, you know, it's a lot of work. It's a 12-hour day.
It is a lot
You
of
know,
work, for
from
sure.
Opening the trailer to closing it, it's a 12, 14-hour day. No question about it.
So how many roadies do you have besides yourselves?
We got Billy D is helping us right now. He's our stage manager, and we want to hire another guy to help us out because our production's coming up.
That's cool.
You know.
Awesome.
So, and plus our on the road, we're not rock stars. We don't go in the room. Well, you set my stuff up. We're there setting our shit up.
Right.
You know,
Right.
It's not like we're Black Label Society or whomever.
Right.
We gotta set up our own shit.
Do you guys have a light show on the road? Do you do anything like
we do
that,
specials.
or a
We do
video
some
wall?
Specials. We do video. I've got video projectors right now. We're probably gonna go to that next level, which is the video wall. But unfortunately, the video wall gets it back there. We have projectors, we have screens. We throw it out.
Video walls are a pain in the ass.
Indeed, they are.
They're a pain in the ass to-
And you gotta hire 2 more people just to do the video wall, and we're kind of contemplating the fact of we like our setup.
Well, you then
It's
just
projectors.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
works.
We got geysers, we got flame units, we got fire. Like I said, we built this to be like Kiss meets Ozzy.
That's cool.
So-
That's awesome. Well, whatever works for you. I just know that they're. God, I've done more video walls and they're very touchy, and they have to be done the right way, and it's a pain in the ass. It's a lot more electricity. It's a lot more
Well,
this,
yeah.
a lot more that.
And we play a lot of venues. We just plug into their video wall, like Diamond. But there's a lot of venues like Diamond. There's your video wall. Here's your cord. Here's your HDMI cord.
Right.
Have fun.
Right.
And you're golden.
Yeah, right.
But to set up that wall every night, I'm not sure if I want to go that.
I don't know.
You know.
You don't need to.
I know there's a band that does that in town. It's like I'm not sure if I want to go there. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest, but it's funny because all the rock and roll shows out there, I think the easiest one we ever did was Actually, there's two of them. One was Joe Walsh, because his set was more of, we have sand, beach balls, stuff like that. And then the other one was ZZ Top.
Oh, yeah.
3 guys, still playing their music that everybody loves.
Right.
They don't have a huge production thing.
Right.
It's ZZ freaking Top. Do you need all that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I
It's
know, right?
just
I
these
know,
3
right?
guys.
I know, right? But then again, it's a visual media right now.
Mhm.
I want to look around and see all this stuff, you know. That's
Mhm.
unfortunately, it's come down to our level. It used to be just the Nationals.
Right.
That had all this shit.
Mhm.
Now we're expected to have it. You know, it's a hard road to follow. You know, these
Right.
guys, you know, it really is. But you guys got, you know, right now there's like Hairball.
Mhm.
They're traveling with a Mack truck and Prevost. That's your competition.
Mhm.
You know, that's your guys you shoot for. You know?
Right.
And you know, they got backing, and you know that's what I'd love to get backing. And maybe 23 we'll get some backing. How about the studio here? You guys ready to back me up here?
Sure.
Write me a check.
Drop it on the floor, bounce time.
We'll get a Mack truck and 10 roadies. You know.
Sure.
And
Sure.
that's what Hairball. They got corporate backing, you know,
Mhm.
and that's our next level, our next step. You know.
Maybe if you got a couple of bands together, like
Yeah.
like you know, a show like you were talking
Sure.
about.
Yeah.
So.
Like the Poison and Motley Crue was 2 bands, same 4 guys.
Mhm.
You know, maybe if I wasn't in Ozzy, I would be interested in that. But that might be the key. Have your support and your closer
Right.
in the same package.
Exactly.
And it's getting more like that, more and more like that. You know?
Well, and you'll have a wider audience too.
If you do, yeah. Well, we have support always.
Right.
It's usually local support.
Right.
Like up in Chicago, we had a fantastic Led Zeppelin. It was fantastic.
Really?
And let's see, in Atlanta. What the fuck? I think it was just a cover band. It was an '80s cover band.
Mhm.
But the problem is when I go out in these venues, I never see their support.
Mhm.
I'm on downstairs and in the green room and all
Right.
that stuff. You know, I've played with AZDC like
Mhm.
5 times.
Mhm.
I've never seen them.
Really?
Yeah.
I hear them from the backstage when I'm working.
Indeed, right?
Which is fine, and I'll peek out to see how many people, but then somebody's yelling for something, so it's like
Yeah.
you don't really get to see.
Right.
But I've seen it from this side. I like being on the other side. I
Yeah.
like working the shows
Right.
and running my ass off and doing whatever, you know,
Yeah.
fixing things.
We
And
played with Pat Benatar, the local Pat Benatar. I've never seen them. Like, I heard they're good.
Right.
That's just something. It is what it is, you know.
you can see it on YouTube later.
And I go out and see them, and I go physically go out and see them.
Mhm.
They're fantastic.
Mhm.
But you don't actually hardly ever see your support band. you know.
Right, gotcha. You get to see all your people when you're out there, right?
Indeed, right?
This is all I need.
Right.
And you still play, whether it's one person or 5,000 people.
The theory is, don't matter. You just give them all. Give them your all.
Definitely, for sure.
That's what you try to do, you know.
You have to.
But,
Because that one person who's standing there watching you and singing your songs back to you, that's what it's all about. That's why you do it.
and you know, we're getting a lot of fathers that bring in their kids, and they got Ozzy shirts on with their kids, and they want to see, what you can't see Ozzy, so they, you know. it's
But
like,
that's okay.
It's okay.
They can still hear his music.
And yeah, and they come out and see us, and they meet us, and blah blah blah. Hey, you know, his guitar. Here's my son. He's a guitar player. I said, keep it up, kid. Just keep going and practice tonight.
That's right.
You know,
No matter what.
you know.
But think about if you're Ozzy Osbourne and you're thinking, I mean, how much of a high would that be if you have people having tribute bands for you? How
Well, it didn't
awesome
seem
would
to work
how,
out for Metallica, but that's okay. That's another story for another day. You know.
why?
I don't know.
And I love them.
I don't know.
I mean,
I know.
you
But I
can't
agree with
be
you.
like that. To me, it's like, wow, what an honor
Yeah.
to have somebody that's going to immortalize your music and keep passing it on in a tribute band.
That's okay.
And
South Park got him good.
to me,
That's okay. We're good.
but you know, I mean, how to
I
me
can't
that would
agree
just
more.
how
That'd
humbling
the
would that
ultimate
be?
Honor.
How humbling would that be?
Kidding me, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like,
And
wow.
thankfully, we picked a tribute to a guy that's got a gigantic catalog. We could
He
have picked
does.
a hell of a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Right.
I mean,
You've got
I think-
endless amount of
I think
songs.
Dave and I, one night, we were just messing around in his studio. We counted, and this is years ago, mind you,
Uh-huh.
and it's gotten worse. 72 tributes between Kansas City and St. Louis.
Holy shit.
There, and there's probably 5 or 6 staple ones that have gigantic catalogs.
That's amazing.
I know, right?
I mean, that's also a plus for you guys because you're always going to be seen.
Well, that's true.
More than likely going to be
Yeah.
seen more than
Yeah.
this tribute for, whatever. So it's, come on in. But, yeah, it's just, to me,
I
it's,
can name like 5 tributes that have. I couldn't even tell you the hit song, and there's a tribute of it.
right,
I mean, that's a guy that really likes this band.
right.
And is going to take the chance that someone else likes this band as much as him. I'm going to make a tribute out of it. You know?
I know.
But then again, are you fitting the herd again, like we did in the '80s with metal bands? Or are you just making them so ridiculously thin?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't either. I think
I mean, you have your Pink Floyd, your Motley Crue, Ozzy's, and all these
Right.
gigantic catalogs.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
And then you have, I don't know, I'm not going to say any names because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Right. Well, I mean, and then there's, but that could be one of those conversations that has so many different avenues
Yeah.
with it because it can go off. I mean, and then there are the metal bands who are putting their own flavor on it and
Oh,
making
indeed.
their songs. They're
Absolutely.
making
No
those
question
songs
about
their
that.
own, which
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah.
Or they want to make it heavier, or they don't want to be so heavy.
That's fact.
Because
That's a
metal
fact.
is still, we had that conversation.
That's a fact.
What's really metal? What do you consider heavy? What do you not consider? Is screaming heavy? Is screaming not heavy? So,
It's a lot of venues. I mean, it's a lot of genres right now. Is it screamo?
mm-hmm,
Is it death metal? Is it poison?
mm-hmm,
Poison Red used to be called metal.
mm-hmm.
Do I consider it metal now? No, because now you got these screamo guys that are
Right.
killing it with their double bass and their screamos.
Right.
Is that metal now? You know.
Well, and I've seen the bands who the screamos who do both.
Oh yeah.
They'll change their in the middle of the song. They're singing this way and then they're doing that. So,
Yeah.
do you really consider that? I don't know. Who started all that?
I'm not sure.
It's rock and roll, man.
Right. Yeah. Let's call it rock and roll. You know.
Definitely. Okay, it's episode 110, Stl Roar, mycitymymusic.com. Scott Bushman, Madman's Diary. See them Friday night at Family Arena. And who's your opening act again? I forgot.
Night Train International out of Tampa, Florida.
And
Driving
doors
up.
are at,
6 o'clock. Show starts at 7.
if you need tickets, hit me up, hit Scott up, hit the band up, hit the venue up. Come over here to the studio. We'll have a stack of them here. Pick them up. Tweezy will have them, right, won't you?
Absolutely.
They'll be here. Yes.
Yeah.
Tweezy says yes.
He says yes.
And we will see you next week.